Hi guys, today we are going to be testing nail art from Temu. Temu is also the sponsor of today's video. I've been hearing about Temu for a while and I've been getting sent some links from you guys wanting me to try stuff. Alright, before we get into it too much, let me tell you a little bit about what Temu is. Essentially, Temu is an online marketplace that offers the most competitive prices. And Temu isn't just for nail supplies, they have stuff like jewelry, home decor, pet supplies, and more. They offer good quality products for very affordable prices. Temu has a website, temu.com, or you can use their app on iOS or Android. They are doing a spring sale right now where you can get up to 90% off, but in addition to the already amazing prices, you can use my code for 30% off, and I will leave my code here as well as in the description. And in the description, I will also leave links for everything I am showing you today. And while they are today's sponsor, I am also a customer. Now this part is talking as a customer. I had placed 2 fairly large orders in the past 2 months, and what stands out to me is everything comes in one box. Do you see this? Personally, that's something that I've struggled with when I've placed a large order on other marketplace websites, is everything came in a million different little packages, and for me, I have a hard time keeping track with what made it and what hasn't, and it makes it very hard to know when things are going to arrive, but it coming in one big package was amazing. I was not expecting that when I first placed my order. I thought I was gonna get a million little packages, but this came and I was so happy. The next thing that also really got me was shipping is free. If you've ever ordered from other online marketplaces that have a lot of different brands or companies selling through one website, you'll know that sometimes you go to check out and you'll have to pay for shipping from this company and then this company, or each individual item. With this, the price you see is the price you're gonna pay, aside from taxes, which can't really avoid. I am so excited to finally show you guys everything I've got and actually use it, because I had placed an order and they reached out very soon after, which meant that I've been holding this stuff for months. Okay, that's dramatic, maybe like a month and a half, waiting to do this haul, although there's definitely been a few things that I couldn't help but take out and use because they're just really useful. So I've been talking too much, let's get into it. I've gone ahead and sort of organized everything that I got into a couple different categories. The first one being nail essentials. So the first things that I got to try were some nail tips. The first ones being extra long coffin, and they look really nice. This part right here should be thinner. Up here is where it really shouldn't bend. I got extra long stiletto and extra long square. But looking at these square ones, they are really flat. These are the flattest full cover tips I've ever seen. So I'm not quite sure about that part, but it's worth a try. So nail essentials were a huge part of my haul because they are things that you're often going to have to buy repeatedly, such as lint-free wipes and micro Q-tips. For me, I use both of these things every single time I do nails, which means I'm going to have to buy them forever. And of course, that's going to mean I'm going to want to pay the lowest price possible. And in terms of quality, these are the exact same ones that I was already buying from Amazon. Speaking of that, something that I totally forgot to mention, my orders that I placed personally, they don't know my customer account, took 12 and 13 days to arrive in total. And if your order does not arrive in that allotted time that they tell you, you get a $5 credit, which is nice. Your order's still coming, but sorry we're late. So I feel like I can never have too many little dishes, so I got this one in solid glass. Something that happened that can be good or bad, depending on how you look at it, was I saw so many things that I didn't know existed that could make my life so much easier. This is a e-file bit cleaning jar, bowl is probably a better word, or whatever you want to wash that you want to just lift on out. On that note, there's also this little thing that cleans your e-file bits just really quick while you're using them. You just pop it in, twirl it around, and it catches all the dust and stuff even too. Usually whenever I'm using a bit and it's just too clogged up, I just set it aside to clean at some point and use a different one, even if that's not the one I need. And this would just, clean it off real quick. I can't wait to use this stuff. More essentials that I always need: buffers and files. And do keep in mind, this is the haul portion of the video, but I will of course do a set of nails at the end, and I will try all of this stuff. And you know, if these buffers don't work good, you'll know that, I'll tell you, or whatever else. But I don't think I've ever had like a bad buffing block. I've had bad nail files, but I don't think I've ever used a buffer that just was like bad. I got this particular set that had so many. This one has a block, ooh, a pretty coarse one, file, 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 and lastly another file. Some of which I haven't really seen before, but all different grits and stuff like that, which is super nice, like 1,000 and 4,000. You don't see that very often. They all feel pretty nice, although these ones feel pretty thin, but I think they're supposed to. Dang, I was doing so good on being organized. I found another pair of tips that I didn't show you already. These ones, I remember these were crazy. They're not smooth on the top, almost like a sort of gemstone geometric shape, and these are dual form, so you pop them off, so you put like polygel on there, and then the top would be, oh, you can see that really well there. It would be like, I don't even want to say textured, isn't the right word. Be, I guess, like molded in another shape that's not smooth. I don't know. I thought these were pretty cool. Of course, I had to get a little lamp to test out. This is going to be a quick curing lamp, so this one you could not use to fully cure your nails, but this is like a flash cure if you're putting on some full cover tips, you're doing some nail art and you just want to like pop it under really quick. I got this one specifically because it has like a wider area that will cure that I can put my hand under, because sometimes I have a hard time just, you know, like maneuvering and getting my finger to be in the exact spot that the little lamps need to be. So this one has a wider area, which I'm excited about. That way it's just like more room to work. And it comes with a USB, so you would need a block to plug it in, but we'll use this when we do our nails. I got a liquid pump. I always have a bottle of acetone, alcohol, and swipe on my desk. So for me, I always have multiple of these, and I can always use more. And honestly, I'm shocked at how nice this is. A lot of times when things are very affordable, you think cheap, and cheap can sometimes have like a negative connotation of thinking that it's like poorly made or bad quality. So I don't want to call this stuff like cheap, but it's very good quality for the price, like very sturdy. Again, more stuff that I saw that I was like, I need that, even though I never knew I needed it. These little tools, this way I can more easily sculpt those little like malleable gels or acrylic or whatever. I feel like these tools will be really useful. And then a bit holder, which is a really good upgrade considering what I've been using. And you know, let's just fix that really quick. Dang, okay, look at that. It won't close with the bigger ones in, but that's okay. Those are pretty big. I use palettes for gel and whatever else all the time, and look at how pretty this one is. I got a couple of these. I think you saw me use this one in the last video. These are so much prettier than a lot of the other mats that I have. And of course, because I do videos, I really want everything to look very pretty, so love it. On the topic of nail bits, I got some of these too. I really am excited to try this like really small round one because it doesn't need additional sandpaper. Got a cuticle bit. This is like a really pointy bit. Be careful with that. So although everything does come in one big box, everything does come like little individually wrapped, which as a consumer is unnecessary, but I think as a shipper is kind of necessary because they have to pull things with barcodes and stuff like that. But just know that all of this stuff comes individually wrapped, and I take it off before I show you because no one wants to hear the crinkling. But this is what it'll like come looking like, or in a little box. It just depends on the item. This little cat claw goes with the next thing I'm gonna show you. These little scissors, which are pretty heavy actually, very solid and very sharp, which is why I got this little cat paw to put on top for when I'm storing it away. I don't accidentally get myself, because it's not good to store like sharp things pointed downward because then you're going to dull it out, but then also it's a hazard facing upwards. So randomly, I saw this like little teeny tiny brush, and you guys know how I feel about little teeny tiny brushes for trying to magically make me really good at nail art. So that's my hope for this one as well. I needed a new tip cutter because my previous one I got like 5 years ago and it wasn't great and it broke recently. So I got this one. Ooh, look how snappy it is. Another thing randomly I saw were these little stir sticks. Like, yeah, I can always just use like the back of a brush or whatever, but I love to have like little dedicated stuff like that to mix up my gel and stuff, because whenever I'm mixing up gel, I usually use a brush, which really isn't the best thing to use. And now look, I have a little stirring thing dedicated for that. This brush holder and little gel palette. That way your brushes don't slide everywhere. And then you can put your colors. I really needed some like big, they're not cuticle clippers, but some big nippers, because I have a really hard time getting big charms or really big rhinestones off sometimes. And I have a really old beat up pair of cuticle clippers I use, but they're really just not the like right thing for them. So I saw this and I knew it'd make my life easier whenever I'm removing those. This next thing, I don't know what it's actually for, to be honest. I could look back at the listing, but I've recently been acquiring like specialty tweezers, and they've been really helpful for little random things. Like, look at how precise these are. And I feel like these will just be really useful for moving things around in like a really small area. I'll have them over here for nails, but I just feel like they could come in handy in the future. I know it. And that is it for my nail essentials. Let's move on to the nail art, which honestly I'm most excited about because I'm dying to show you guys all of the charms, okay? The charms. You're not ready for it. Okay, let's go. Now for the charms, if I went through each one in detail and talked about it, we would be here forever. Do you see how many this is? I don't know how many it is, but it's a lot. So we're just gonna kind of rapid fire. Some of the charms come in big packs, others come in just like singular ones. It just depends on the type of charm. Usually nicer, like rhinestone, specialty ones come in fewer quantities, but like more molded ones you get a lot more of. I think these wing ones are so cool. These ones are like that too, so you can make the butterfly on one nail or you could do it on two nails. I love that. These ones I think are supposed to be like replicating the Aurora nail look, but I'll be honest, I do not like these. I feel like maybe if we like framed them with some like beads or made something out of it, it could look good, but just as is, like just right on top, I don't know, I just don't like them. I feel like there's a certain instance they could look good, but not on their own. I think these specific rhinestones are what I've been missing for trying to do my like really shifty Aurora nails like I have been doing. I think these are the ones that you're supposed to use. I got these and I think they look like a fox, and my husband says they look like a flower. What do you see? Are they a fox or are they a flower? I've been absolutely loving these new rhinestones with glitter inside them. I feel like it really does add that little bit of like extra pizzazz to it. These would make a heart, like if you know, shifted them. And then also a set of these shifty rhinestones. And then these ones, which I was so surprised at. Look at how good these cherries look. And I was not expecting all of this, but there's so many options in this. I love that it comes with big and small ones. In the two orders that I placed, this haul is a mix of stuff that they sent me that I requested for the video and also stuff that I purchased. And in my two purchases, I had two things that I would say were, one was broken and then the other one like damaged, which isn't really damaged. This particular bag of charms was ripped and these charms were all over the box, but that wasn't a big deal. The other thing was a claw clip and that came broken, and that's the only thing out of everything that has come remotely not how it's supposed to come. So that's all the charms slash rhinestones. This next thing I thought was super cool. It is an eyeshadow looking palette, but it's specifically for nails. And I thought that was so cool, especially since we tried out the eyeshadow nail hack a couple of videos ago. Did come a tiny bit dirty there. It looks like a little piece broke off right there, but for the most part it's all together and I am excited. I don't know if there's anything specifically different about it. I don't know if it'll act different. There are certain pigments that you're not supposed to put near your eyes, so I would imagine that in a palette made for nails you would be able to do that since it's going to be in your nails and it's going to be sealed. But I thought this was a really cool find. The next thing, as you can probably see, I have some press-ons on and I got these from there also. I decided to give them a go so I could like actually test them a little bit before I showed you them. But here they are. These have been on for probably like 4 days. They do have a little bit of wear near the top here that you can see, but But other than that, they've been holding up good. They are shockingly very strong. I got 2 more sets. This purple reverse French tip ombre set, as well as just a regular black French tip set. And these especially, if I'm remembering it correctly, they were only like $2 to $3, which I think is really good for press-ons. They do come with sticky tabs, but they don't come with glue, so keep that in mind. I got a lot of different powders, especially hollow powder. I saw these colored hollow powders, which normally hollow powder is silver, but these ones are still hollow, even though they're like a specific color. That was so cool. Lots of the Aurora shifty type ones. This one's probably going to be hard to see. I'm very excited about this black hollow one. And again, they did all come in a little package like this with an applicator, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through me opening every single one of these. I saw this and I was very intrigued. This is a pen for the magnetic cat's eye gels. That way you can like draw a design or something like that. I don't know. This will be really cool to test out. These are reflective caviar beads. I don't know if I'll be able to really show you guys with this lighting. Well, you can kind of see. I grabbed a couple poly gels, got a color changing one, and then some sparklies. I actually really want to see what this white sparkly one looks like. Okay, it's like a silver sparkly. Then I got a couple gels. So I got this base and top coat, which feel very nice. All of these gel bottles do. They are like very heavy, but gels and stuff are going to be the things we're gonna really test when I actually do some nails. See this color? Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Definitely using that one. We have this one. Let's see what color I got. I don't quite remember the specific colors, but I know that I was getting the cat's eyes and the glitters and the reflectives for sure. Ooh, yeah, this one looks like it's gonna be a cat's eye, so we can try using that little pen. And then we have this, like a gold glitter. Unsure if that's reflective or cat's eye. We'll have to see. It's kind of hard to tell under like really bright lights if something's like reflective or cat's eye just right off the bat. And Aurora top coat. Oh my gosh, that one's so pretty too. Look at that. That's gonna go perfect with that first gel. I also did get some adhesive glue for the charms. Okay, I promise we're getting towards the end. This next group of products is organization. There are so many organizers, and I'm not even gonna lie with you guys. Throughout my couple hauls and stuff for this video, I think I ended up with like 10 of these because I have so many charms and I want nothing more than to condense all of them down in these little boxes. And same with my rhinestones. I have a lot that are like in packets, and those are really hard for me to use and pull out and find. So I plan to just organize all of my charms and all of my rhinestones into just like condensed storage palettes like this. I've wanted to do this for a really long time, so I'm stoked to do this. In fact, do you guys mind if I take a little detour really quick and just do a little something something? Let me know if you guys liked that. I don't particularly listen to ASMR because I just don't personally like the whispering and stuff, but I know I could watch and listen to that all day long. So if you want me to do a whole video of just pretty much that, no talking, just organizing and the sounds of it, let me know because I will do that. I'm gonna organize them either way, but I'm also not sure how many people would actually want to watch that, so let me know. Next, I got a bunch of these clear containers, and these can basically display or hold whatever you want. They do come with 2 little strips of tape, and they are absolutely perfect for displaying nails like this, and the tape makes them stick so they don't move. I don't know how I went so long without these because I don't know if I've mentioned it or not, but you guys know I have my jar of nails. I actually have a separate little box of nails that I put delicate nails in, ones that took really long time to sculpt, delicate charm nails, ones I would be worried about breaking, and those are typically ones I've spent the most time on, and instead of putting them in a box where I can't see them, I would absolutely love to display them like this. So I am so excited that I know about these now and I can do that. On the other hand of that, I found these boxes and I thought that they were basically the same thing but just with a colored frame. They are actually like a stretchy film that is meant to like keep things safe. So let me just grab something and then I'll just put the rings I'm wearing in. Right, so you do that and it like molds to it and they don't move. It also comes with a little display thing. So if you wanted to put something in there like that and display it, you could. But these were so useful when I was traveling recently. I put my jewelry in these because my jewelry always gets all, you know, tangled because I just kind of throw it in a bag. This time I just put them in these things and it was so helpful. So even though it looks like I'm a chaotic mess, something you guys probably don't know is my whole house is pretty organized. It is kind of like chaos organization, but I have everything in acrylic containers or together in something. And so I got some of these just like acrylic, like pencil holders, whatever. I will always use them. So I picked some of these up, came in a pack of 2, and you know, it is what it is. It's a little acrylic pencil thing. This one in particular is not the highest quality acrylic I've ever seen, but it'll do the job. This one, on the other hand, is so cute. And this one is definitely better quality. And it's just like a cute little strawberry pencil cup. I'm gonna put all of my like little nail art brushes in this for scale. On the topic of organizing nail stuff, I got a couple of these and they are going to be for organizing my nail stickers. So this will be so much easier to flip through and see what I have because right now they're all just in like an acrylic container, just bunched together. And I feel like I don't use them as much as I probably would if I could just like slide through. So I got some of these and I'm really excited to just have like books of them. This last thing isn't nail related, but kind of. I'm fairly certain this is for diamond painting, but when I saw this, I felt like I will be able to organize my rhinestones so much easier this way. And especially when I'm doing a design with multiple types or sizes of rhinestones, I can just put them each in this. It'll line them up so they're easy to pick up and then I can just like brush them back in their little containers. I feel like this is going to be super useful. I do already have little ones like this, but they're individual ones and I don't really have that many, but just all in one like this, I feel like it's going to be so helpful. Now I believe that's it for the main part of my haul. This last group of things definitely don't relate to each other. They're just random stuff that I got that I like. Starting off with this hair bow. How heckin' cute is it? I also got... This is so much harder to show than I thought it would be. These shark slippers, a strawberry slicer and pitter, which has been really great because I eat a lot of strawberries. My preferred fruit. This secret, now not so secret drawer I got for my husband on his desk. Oh, and then I don't know how I almost forgot. I got a bunch of rings also. I've been wearing them in this video. Not the one on my ring fingers, but this one, this one, this one, and this one. I got a couple more packs too. I'm always wanting to take pictures of my nails, but I always feel like something is missing. And when I look at other people's nail pictures, I realize that a lot of the times they wear a lot of rings, specifically these like chain link ones. I see these everywhere. I wasn't able to find those ones specifically on here, but I found a lot of similar ones like these ones. I see these everywhere and it's been nice because these all fit pretty much any finger and my fingers run from I think my ring finger's like a 6, 6.5 to like 8, 8.5. These ring packs kind of just like vary in size, which I don't mind. If you have really tiny fingers, I don't know if many of these would fit you, but if your fingers run from like a 6 to like a 9, probably you're good. Even I had one that fit my thumb, which is definitely going to be bigger. I got a lot of black rings because I never have any to wear for Halloween sets. So this year for Halloween, my little end shots are gonna look so much better. These rings in particular have not really made my finger turn green, I don't think. If anything, it's like a super faint something. I've worn them for like 4 or 5 hours a couple times, and it just happens sometimes with metals. This is my wedding band, which is real gold. This is, I believe, 14 karat gold, and it is, as you can see, leaving a little band of green. I think the lower number you go down with like gold, the less like real gold is in it because it's mixed with other metals, but it makes it more durable, which is why I got 14. And that one does turn my finger green a little bit, but as you can see, this one hasn't really, so I don't know. For some of you, you might be like, why are you on about this? But I know a good amount of people would want to know that, so I just wanted to mention it. But now that is really the last thing that I got out of this haul. I know that this was a very large haul. I've been saving a lot of this to show you guys from my couple orders and then what they sent me for this video. But now it is time to actually do some nails. It's going to be so hard to choose what I want to use, but let's just get into it and see what happens. So I really want to try that magnetic marker. So I'm just putting on some of this magnetic gel. So let's see if I can like draw, maybe just like a heart or something. Oh wait, it's working. Oh, you guys can't see it. It works. You guys see it moving? It does work. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you guys could like really see the pieces moving and like the drawing with it, because that was so cool. And it actually works really well, a lot better than I thought it would, way more precise than I thought. I feel like this will make everything so much easier now. I feel like I end up messing up magnetic gel sometimes because I'll use the wrong side of the magnet and the pieces will like come towards it opposed to away, and then I have to redo it. So this kind of takes guesswork out of it. I really like this. I think I want to use the stiletto today. So I'm just going to size all of these out. That one's a little too big. Perfect. I would say these tips run a bit big. And then out of that pack of nail files, I'm gonna grab a 100-180 and file all of the cuticles to fit the shape of my cuticle line. There we go. Now I'm gonna grab my base coat. Oh my gosh. Weird. This smells like bubble gum. I don't quite know how I feel about that. I don't know if I love it or hate it, but it's like a very distinct bubblegum smell. Anyway, I'm putting a base coat on my nails. This is a thinner base coat, but it does glide nicely. To put the tips on, I'm gonna use polygel today. I know it's been a while since we've used polygel, so pretty much to do that, I'm going to put it on the entire underside, and this is kind of gonna be our color slash base. This is actually a glow-in-the-dark polygel. So the color of it's gonna be like a milky-ish white clear type thing. And I'm trying out this little rubber tool to move it around, and it's actually very easy that way. All right, and then I'm gonna grab my little lamp here. Here's what the underside looks like. It's such a big surface area for like an overhead one. All right, so I'm just gonna put that on like so. Then I'm doing a tiny bit of cleaning up, and then we will do a flash cure. Remember, you will need to do a full cure. Thankfully, this is just sticking to my nail without me holding it, but that doesn't usually happen. For me anyway. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this like this. This was a total accident, but if I can do it on the other nails, then we may have a little bit of a design going. We'll see. So we'll be repeating the process on that. These silicone tools actually work so well for this. Look at that. Dang. All right, and let's put this on. This polygel is holding so good today, all on its own. I mixed up the sizes, so it's actually this one. I was wondering why it wasn't going down. Here we go. Got a little bit of squeeze out, that's okay. I was like, wow, I must have really not done this in such a long time. I have no idea how to size out tips correctly, but it's all good. All right, I'm gonna just finish up these two really quick. Okay, so I put them all on. I think I'm gonna fill in those little spaces at the end with this silver glitter poly gel, and I'm starting to get the picture of what I'm wanting to do today. I did a swatch of that one really shifty gel, and it is a cat's eye magnetic. I was kind of thinking it was going to be completely opaque, and so since it's not, that changed my plan a little bit. Yeah, so really I'm just going to fill everything in. Shouldn't take more than just a moment. This is going to be a trust the process set of nails, okay? So I feel like they'll even look a lot better once we file them. So I'm going to do that. These tips definitely need a little bit of filing. I need to soften out the cuticle a little bit. When I was filing these tips earlier, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I like this file. So I'm gonna use it again, but I might look for a not quite as coarse one for around the cuticle. So for this like whitish part, I think that I'm wanting a iridescent shift. So let's put a top coat on, and I'm going to just wipe it off of this silver part because I actually don't want it on there because we're gonna do something different with that part. All right, let's get the powder. Ooh, that's looking so pretty. Ooh, I'm super happy with that. That is so pretty. Okay, let's do the rest of them. These look so shiny. I'm having an extremely difficult time because I really intended to set out and use all of these like really pretty blue glitters and stuff, and now I'm like, I don't know, because this looks like soft and like kind of pink or white. I don't know how to incorporate it. So while I think about that, I'm going to top coat all of this. Okay, so false alarm. I think I was just being a little bit dramatic. I decided to just see what this looked like outside of the container, and because the container is black, it looks so much darker in the container. And it is actually a top coat, so of course it wouldn't be that dark. Look at how pretty it's gonna be. These colors are gonna be a lot more subtle on lighter bases, but that was what I was wanting, so perfect. When I started this, I thought that these nails were gonna come out dark, but I actually think they're going to be fairly light. And I think I just panicked a little too quickly because there's so much stuff I want to use and try, but I know if I do way too much, I'm not gonna end up liking the design. But I love this top coat. I would like to see what it looks like over black though. It's super easy to apply to. Now I'm going to use this, and this one also looks a lot more dramatic in the bottle. And we're just going to put this on pretty much as like a French tip. Then I have my pen, and I'm gonna move these around, kind of all towards the center. And this is usually something that I'll just like flash cure for a couple seconds and then finish curing when I cure everything else, because I don't want the magnetic pieces to move, but also I don't want to wait the whole time every single nail. Now I'm going to grab a palette out, and this gel, this is some gold glitter into that teeny tiny little brush I got, and I'm pretty much just going to frame that out like that. You guys know I get a little flustered sometimes when I go into a set without a plan, and so I'm really good. I took last night to kind of just think on it, and I did look at this under the flash in the dark, and they look so good. So I'm going to just finish doing these two on camera for you guys. And then we're gonna put some charms on. And I know that a lot of you are going to be so relieved that I ended up going this route because it really does look better just like as this full French tip. Especially because these tips are very long. Under the flash, they look so cool because there's that cat's eye, the reflective, the gold is reflective. And then there's also like extra hidden dimension since there's that silver underneath this top part. I just love it all so much. And I'm doing double layers too, just because I really want everything to pop. This isn't a fully opaque gel. It's sort of like a, I don't even want to say like a glitter gel because it is, but if you put like 2 coats, it ends up looking kind of opaque. It's in a, I want to say like very, very translucent black jelly, if that makes sense. It's not in a clear gel. And then each time I am still taking my magnet and just pushing those pieces towards the center on every edge and through the center on the gold. Okay, so now it's finally time for some charms. So I'm going to get my adhesive glue out and my little stir slash, I'm gonna call it like a little poke stick to open this. If I felt like I could use every single charm, but unfortunately I can't. So I'm kind of choosing between those, these two, maybe the reflective caviar beads. So let's just see what looks good. All right, I kind of just want to lay that there for a moment and see. And then I was almost thinking with these to kind of just put them all a little random on the bottom here. I'm not sure if that will look good. Just like kind of like random chunky gems, if that makes sense. Or I know there's so many options. I do have these gold butterflies, which I do love. Ooh. That may be the move. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, gold butterflies. I wish I had these, but with like blue. I had one and I don't know where it is, but I think I'm gonna try to find it because I think that would be perfect to have all of them, this and then one blue one in the center. Oh my gosh, I found it. Perfect. All right, we're gonna use these. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my adhesive glue and I'm going to put the butterflies kind of just like in the center here. So I'm gonna just make a little circle. I'm gonna do this about 2 at a time. Then I'm gonna go back in with my top coat and then I'm gonna lightly just drag the top coat over the adhesive glue. Heavier charms are gonna wanna slide, so you're gonna wanna make sure you flash cure that so they stay in place before you do your full cure. You don't wanna put your hand into the lamp with it in place and pull it out and it's cured to the side. I've had that happen too many times. Those are so cute. And we'll finish up these last couple. Oh my gosh, they came out so pretty. I'll show you guys, of course, in the sun as like an end shot too. The butterflies really made it all come together. We need to put some rings. Let me grab a pack out. These are all kind of like little dainty ones. Oh, that is cute. Let's see. My hands are usually a bit swollen in the mornings. Again, thank you Temu for sponsoring this video. My code as well as everything you saw here today will be down below in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it ended up pretty long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on how the nails turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!